So we're here in our seed garden today, and I planted 2 rows of Han Sai Tai flowering broccoli. It's a mustard that we tried last year from Johnny's, and I may have accidentally let it cross-pollinate with broccoli rabe, since they're both brassica rapa, and there was a short time that they were flowering together, and initially I thought that was a really bad thing, and so I didn't ever plant those seeds again, even though I had saved them because I couldn't help myself. But you know, recently my attitude about things crossing in the garden is changing. That's kind of how we discover new and awesome things. And so even if this Han Sai Tai has some broccoli rabe genetics in it, it might actually be kind of cool to see what comes of it. So we've got 2 full rows here. I'm gonna have to thin them out. I planted them pretty thickly, but I'm really excited to see what they look like. I do think that it's probably just gonna be pure Han Sai Tai. I don't know that their flowering overlap was too significant, but we'll see. And maybe there'll be some nice surprises. So this is our garden. It's the end of November. We're a little behind, but then again, we always plant a little bit late simply because we have the luxury to, and the weather's a little bit nicer, and we seem to get just fine seed set planting in late October, early November. And this row, we've got some Farmer John daikon radish. This will be our 2nd season saving it. And we're having some low germination, but I actually think it's because of grasshoppers. They seem to be getting in here and eating a lot of our plants. So I've sown again a couple times, and I also stored these original seeds from Farmer John quite poorly, actually. And so some insects had gotten into them. So I re-sowed really thickly down this whole row, and hoping that we get some good germination so that we can save daikon radish again. And that's about it. Our garden has a lot of wildflowers that we just let go on the side. So the goldenrod's just about done. And we let our cosmos just keep free flowering and doing their thing, bringing in pollinators. And last but not least, we've got this cool ground cover plant that Tim Noyes passed along to us called African potato mint. And we just put this in the ground on the edge of the garden to see what it would do. It makes an edible tuber. And since we have a lot of space in the garden that's just edges and whatnot, I thought it might be a good spot to stick this in and see how it does. And we do have fairly decent soil here, even though we haven't been amending this part of the garden. And this is our Hugo culture pile that we basically just every time there's garden trash, we put it here. And I think that this season we might stop adding to this pile and pick another pile so that we can let this decompose and give us some soil. But it's really deep, full of all kinds of garden debris, and I'm sure that down below we probably have some really nice stuff. Oh yeah, look at that. We haven't been watering or really doing anything to this, turning or whatever, so just it doing it on its own has been pretty successful. So we'll have some nice planting material here soon. We just need some rain to help flatten this pile down and decompose it. You can see we've got a lot of chaff from cleaning cowpea seeds and old Cosmo stalks that we pulled out. So I'm sure there's actually going to be a whole hodgepodge of things that want to grow on their own in this garden. Yeah, here we left some Cosmo seeds. These things have a habit of just going wherever they want to, which is why I like them. We didn't actually plant these cosmos or these ones, and we had a whole row of them, and they're actually coming up a lot on their own. So that's our little early fall seed garden. Oh, we have a little, here's why we always have flowers in the garden.